And we back, ladies and gentlemen, live with Ab 5. I'm here with, I don't even know, I'm going to call you the East Tremont Madame. You know,
Madame,
Madame.
wow.
Yeah, I just made that up.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll
the
fuck with it.
owner of Highly Favored Events.
Highly favorite event studio.
And this is where we at.
Yeah.
There's no way I was going to talk to Miss Jackie. You're going to introduce yourself in a second, but there's no way we were going to talk to Miss Jackie somewhere else. Like, you have to do it with the venue. I've done it many times. If it's an entrepreneur, we're gonna be where they own. Like you own that place. That's what we're gonna interview. I don't give a fuck where we at. But we are at Highly Favored. I've been here for a couple of parties. It's on the corner, 3770 East Tremont.
Correct.
Yo, am I good or what?
You're good.
I just looked that up
You're
today.
good.
But I looked that up today, and it stood there.
Awesome.
But introduce yourself, my love.
Hi, so my name is Jackie. I own Highly Favorite Events. I was very flattered when Abby asked me to do this interview.
That's right,
and
baby.
I'm excited.
We here. She's nervous. Don't worry about it.
I'm a little bit because I get a little camera shy.
But we're just gonna go down. How does let me just give you a picture. The end of the story is to promote your brand. And how did you get here? Was it given to you? Did grandpa own it first? Did daddy own it first? And then that, because that happens. So some people, they fight for everything they have. Some people struggle. Some people. So the reason why I do these interviews, and we interviewed Frank last year. I was in Puerto Rico. No, that was 2 years ago. I was in Puerto Rico and we did it through FaceTime. Shout out to Willis Slushies.
Slushies.
She was like, I'm gonna be late because I'm gonna get slushies. I'm saying, I'm like, good job. I
I
agree.
was like,
with
would
you.
you like one?
That's that,
That's how I smooth it out.
that's how you.
Would you like one?
Oh, and your girl can have one too. So thank you for this. Cheers. Shout out to
Cheers.
Frank. So yeah, so let's just start from the beginning, and then we're gonna end with the boss of this beautiful space that I've been to plenty of times, and we're gonna talk about that. But let's go all the way back to the beginning. Born and raised,
Born and raised, Bronx, New York.
Boogie Down.
Boogie down.
Wow, what hood?
Once 180, 170 something in Walton, 179 in Walton. I was a
Oh,
baby.
you Fortran.
Yeah, Fort Train. I was a baby when we moved by the time I
So
remembered what our last
So what
home
was your growing up? What was your neighborhood?
So Walton and then Kingsbridge.
Oh,
Kingsbridge
oh,
was where I was from, yeah.
no, Kingsbridge is like there's so many Kingsbridge. I have so many Kingsbridge stories. My first baby mom was from Kingsbridge, so I had to get on 2 trains to go visit her. It was annoying. No, it was annoying. I'm talking about 15, 14, 15, 16 years old.
What did you take, the D and the 4?
No, I'm a 6 train boy.
6 of them, okay.
I'm a super 6 train boy. 6 train all day.
6 to 125th.
To the 4, yep, to go uptown. But so what was your relationship with your parents?
So I'm actually, my mom was a single mom raising me. When we lived on Walton, we ended up moving to Kingsbridge and eventually to Watson. So Watson is also a neighborhood I grew up
Hell
in.
yeah.
Because I moved to Watson at 15, pregnant of my daughter. So I could say I grew
15
up
year old
both.
pregnant.
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
This is why we do this, because the young ladies that get pregnant early, they think life is over. They
Oh,
think
no.
they think they have to give the baby away. They think they have to throw them in the fucking garbage. And I'm like, what?
No.
We see that sometimes. So what was that? Let's see. I didn't even know that was coming. What was that like to get? Because I know what it's like to get the call. I'm pregnant. So at 15, to call, did you call the guy? Did you call the?
Yeah, I mean, he knew. He knew.
He knew right away.
He
He
definitely
was.
did.
I don't know what his age was, but was he ready for this?
No, I think we were both pretty young and just
Having a good time.
having a good time.
I had mine at 19, so I know.
I mean, maybe I should have been doing some other things, but we made a baby.
So at 15, what? How did your life? I can imagine how your life, because I have a daughter. She's 30 now, but she's gonna be 30. But so I definitely know that pain. Did your mom was she supportive? Did she tell you? Did she say "te lo dije"? Did she give you that speech?
I think she was just maybe shocked and silently supportive.
Like, we ain't got no choice. We gotta do this shit.
Yeah, silently supportive. I don't remember getting barked on. I just remember her asking me a crazy question, like when I was like 8 months pregnant, sitting down next to her because I couldn't do anything else. I had no social life. I was just home. And she just looked at me one day, and I'm just sitting there, married pregnant. And she goes, "Did you even know what you were doing?"
That's
What
hilarious.
kind of crazy question is that? I remember looking at her like,
We here already.
yeah. I mean, I didn't even dare say yeah. I was just like,
Yeah, it's just whatever.
yeah.
What
So it
happens?
was
Okay, so let's
crazy.
talk about. So the baby gets here. Now what? What we doing now?
I just,
And shout out your daughter, by the way.
yes, my daughter is amazing. Her name is Selena. She has got a great career, two beautiful boys. Did not have them as a teenager.
Good job.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's
So
wonderful.
so the so
Multi-talented.
that's
She
what
does
came out of
everything.
the 15-year pregnancy.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's actually, definitely better than I was at that age. She wasn't a teen parent. She has an amazing career, and she's also a hustler. She was an entrepreneur before I was, honestly.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's something that like I said before, we can use for the young teens that we might as well just say they made that mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. You're just looking for a good time. Them 15 minutes turns into lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean,
I'm proud that it all worked out. Any more kids after that?
no, no.
Wow, what happened? You got traumatized?
Well, kind of. I definitely didn't enjoy pregnancy, and I had my kid, and it was about doing the best for us, not letting her struggle just because I was a teen mom. So I never
So
wanted to have 4 and 5 kids, and we're all struggling, and I'm like,
so I'm thinking, okay, so now she's 5, you're 20, 21. What are we doing now? School? We doing
I
college?
was
We
in
doing?
college, yes.
Oh, so you got it. Kind of woke you up, right?
Yeah,
Or were
because
you a good student
I was
already?
wilding.
So you wasn't wilding.
I was outside.
Okay. School a priority or the
Um,
streets were
I've
priority?
at that point in my life when I got pregnant, obviously the school was not a priority. Streets were more my priority, I guess. Just hanging out, having
Yeah.
fun. It wasn't even like I was wilding. It was like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But things happened, and then it started happening a lot, and eventually I got pregnant. But I was a very studious person prior to that. I guess I was just going through a rebellious stage, probably. And then after I had my daughter, I went right back to school. So
So and guys and girls that go to jail, right? They say that saved my life. Would you say your daughter saves your life?
for sure, for sure.
Because my daughter definitely, I've said it on repeated episodes, repeated interviews that my daughter saved my life because us men, Watson, I grew up by West Farms and Freeman.
Okay.
A lot of our brothers and sisters, they at that age they pass away, they commit crime, they go to jail, they get pregnant,
Yeah.
and in some cases, which is jail and pregnancy, yes, it stings. Yes, you got to probably do a little bit and sit down for a while. Yes, you got to but it triggers something.
Yeah. It puts that
So
fire in the ass.
it triggers something. And the last interview I just did, shout out to Abby. She had 2 kids. Yeah, her name is Abby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I thought
amazing.
you were shutting yourself out. I was like, okay,
So her name
whatever. If
is
you like it, I love
her,
it.
well. Shout out to Abby as well. But
Shout out to Abby.
oh, you wanted to ask me about my name?
Yes. How do we pronounce this? I don't know if anyone else out here
No,
feels the
everybody
same
does.
way.
Everybody fucks it up.
Yeah, so I'm hearing so many different versions that I'm
Okay.
just like, Abi, A-B, Abi, yeah, Abi, Abi, A-B.
Oh,
Like,
so
I get
so
different pronunciations.
I
I know they
can't.
all sounded the same, but I've literally gotten that same from different people.
Well, thank God. Well, you didn't say AB, so that's good.
A-B, yes, that's another one.
That's what Candy calls me, and
So,
she
all right,
refuses
so
to fix it.
Candy and them A-B, then I think Frank and them Abi,
Abby, yeah.
Abi, and then
But without
Brenda,
but without the accent. You say Abby is Abby.
Abi. Okay.
Yes.
And then Brenda's Abi. There we
Yes.
go. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
so-
A-B, Abi, Abi.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I take them all, but it's Abby.
Abby.
Yes.
So I'm gonna stick to
But-
that. I felt like I was saying that alone, but everybody corrects me. So because I'm getting corrected, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ask him because what's up?
Now you can pull up this interview when it comes out and say,
I'm
look,
gonna be
he
like,
told me
look.
his name is Abby. That's it.
What?
Definitely not.
5 minutes in? We could-
Yeah, definitely not AB. Definitely not. Well,
And you know, if I say it wrong, just let me be.
nah, don't worry about it. I stopped correcting people. I don't even correct no more. So the girl that I was interviewing, her name is Abby, and she same thing. Kids at 16, 2 kids at 16, 17, whatever, and same thing. She and interviews in the past, young men, young women, and it does something to us. It
Yeah.
definitely does something to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's sad to say, but I lost friends because I stopped hanging out with them. I had no
Oh, look
choice.
at
I
that.
had to
Yeah.
go help. Had to go help my first baby moms, and we had to cook dinner, and we had to move in together, and it worked
Yeah.
because I'm gonna say it saved my life because we're talking about 92, 93, 94.
Those years were
Streets was
crazy.
crazy. You know what
I
I'm
had my
saying?
daughter in 94.
Yeah. So my daughter's 95. So it was just so. There's no internet, but there's still a lot going
Our
on.
entertainment was the street.
The
So what you
streets.
say, 92, 93, that's when I was outside.
Yeah, yeah, you was outside for real. 14, 13, outside. But single mom,
Everything.
what can she do? She's at work. She can't control you.
Yeah, and like I said, I think back now, it must have been wild for her because I really wasn't the type of kid she would have expected that from. I just like to have fun. I like to have fun. Where the function at?
Where?
So,
So let's talk about dad. So dad was never around, or he cut in and out.
so he was around for my early ages, but they separated, and how it tends to happen sometimes, he was not a part of my upbringing. I did have strong male figures, my uncle, my brother, family, but not my dad and my stepfather.
And so to this day, nothing.
Well, it's an interesting story. That's a whole other podcast, but my life is a little bit of a movie.
So
I
you could give a piece if you want.
I
Now.
could, I could.
Just
I
a piece.
mean,
Just a
I know
teaser.
this sounds insane, but I got it from family, and it's confirmed. So my dad was, my mom was very naive, I think. So I don't think she understands that my dad was out there getting to the bag.
100%.
So so my family used to say he always came in different cars, mad jewelry. I met a few people that knew him from the neighborhood because I did try to find him at one point. Apparently, I looked just like him. But he was a get money dude. So my mother used to explain it as, oh, he used to come around once a month and drop off money, but he wasn't like ready to settle down. So he used to just drop off envelopes with cash. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, no problem, whatever. Long story short, that was the relationship. He would come see me. Throughout that, now let's not judge my mom, but throughout that, she ended up in a relationship. And this is who raised me. But she ended up in a relationship, and we lived in this building on 180-something in Walton. So one day, his brother was drunk, and he started busting shots in the air and ended up shooting a black pregnant woman. This was
Whoa.
also during the time where Puerto Ricans and blacks used to kind of beef a lot. So it turned into a riot, and they
Damn.
wanted to kill him and his entire family. So in the middle of the night, my family and I was a baby, were escorted out of the building, and all of the belongings were left behind. I do feel my dad could have tried to find me because he knew where my grandmother lived, but ever since that happened, she just raised me with my stepdad, and life moved on.
Damn.
Insane, I know. If several family members didn't tell me about this, then I wouldn't believe it, but that's kind of how that went down.
Yeah, because you didn't recollect that, but
At all, I was a kid, I was a baby.
yeah.
Like,
But,
I was under 1
no,
years
and
old.
but that's the life from that era, bro.
Yeah, it seems like they really didn't. She says that they didn't have like a relationship. It was just him taking care of his kid, dropping off money.
No, 70s, 80s, 90s, bro. I grew up 75.
Oh, and when I found out about him, apparently I have a bunch of siblings out there, a bunch.
Oh yeah,
Or his man told
four.
me that I have several siblings in every borough. That my father is among Malcriado, and that I look just like him. They used to call him Machuca. And Watson over there, they know him. And so I have a lot of siblings out there, apparently. A lot of them.
Hey, you know what?
So he was probably doing this everywhere. Can you believe this? I'm the product of a fuckboy.
It's okay.
It's fucked up.
All you can do is raise your daughter the way you did, and now she's amazing, and that's all you
She's
can do.
amazing, exactly.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
Be better.
Listen, I didn't ask for it. This is how I came into the world.
And you know what? Your dad probably missed out on a great relationship with you.
Yeah.
And
Well, interesting enough, his mother came to my house with people to like take me. To Ecuador. I'm half Ecuadorian.
Hello, how you doing? Oh, so that's
So
why
she pulled up saying she raises. So I have siblings back in Ecuador, and she pulled up saying she raises all her son's kids,
So that's
and
how
that she wanted to take me back to Ecuador.
That's how you get along with the Ecuadorian crew.
Honestly, my mom said fuck no. My brother told me about that also because he was there, of course. But yeah, It seems like he was out here making kids, and she would
So
pick
we
up
don't.
some of
So
them.
we don't wait. But we all fucking. We fuck with that dude.
I fuck with them, but I wasn't raised with his family. Like my
Oh, okay.
mom declined
No, I'm
it.
talking about your crew now.
Now?
Adriana,
Oh
the
yes,
other one,
actually
wait,
yes.
wait,
That's
Adriana,
coincidental.
Ali, they all have a
Ali,
daughter.
Adriana, everyone's a few of us are
Yeah,
actually.
y'all got a click.
Yeah. But I think they're probably more familiar with the culture than I am.
1,000%. I know
Yeah,
that
it's
much.
beautiful, and I haven't been, but it's in my blood.
Yeah, it's there. But all right. So now let's go to now the baby's 10. What are we doing now?
By
Now
the
you're
time my
about.
daughter's 10, I'm still living on Watson. I am working corporate and going to school.
So when the are you is this the job or this is you own this but you still not 9 to 5?
No, this is what I do 100% now.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Because the reason why I say that is because it takes a lot. And like I said, the same girl I was just talking to today, by the way. This like I did. This is my second interview today. We're
Wow,
not
I'm
playing.
saying you
We're not
getting
fucking
it.
around.
I'm so
This is
happy.
you are part of the Summer World Tour.
I love this. Thank you. I
No,
love it.
you are because the reason why I'm not in the studio is because my boyfriend Jez has a lot going on. On the weekends, he wants to be in Orchard Beach. This is what he told me. My girl was there. He loves Orchard Beach. So I said, you know what we're gonna do for the summer? I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do the world tour, fucking the Bronx of the everyone I know. I got my interviews from the driveway, in front of my house.
That looks dope. Got the
Yo,
whole bridge in the
we
back.
outside for real.
I
So
love
this is
that.
I just came off of fucking traffic, went home, changed, and came here with you. So we ain't fucking around all summer. So you are part of the tour.
I love the hustle. I love it.
No, but
Congratulations, honestly.
thank you.
Amazing.
This is year 3, by the way.
Amazing.
3 years.
Yes.
Welcome
I
to the show.
witnessed your comeback and
Yeah, because I
everything you've
stopped.
done
Oh, because
since
you remember when I
then.
stopped, right?
Yes. So then I witnessed when, I'll be honest, prior to that, I wasn't really familiar, but I really was building this in my own little world.
Yes.
But I was there and I witnessed the comeback.
When the girls,
Yes.
they brought me back,
Yes.
100%.
And
So
look at what you've done. But it
you-
hasn't been a year?
that was March, so a year and change.
That's amazing, honestly.
No,
Congratulations.
cheers, thank you. Because yeah, I stopped because Frank was episode 3. Yeah, so from Frank to the girls was like was a
Wait,
was
so
a
you
year.
had done 3 episodes and stopped?
I did 12 and stopped. For the money, my
Why
cousin.
did you stop? I mean, you're interviewing me, but
No, we could talk about it. My cousin For the Money, the comedian. I interviewed him on face on IG Live. So he came back to the show when in the studio, but he was my last one. And to answer your question, and you probably know owning this and probably having situations that you just don't want to deal with it no more. So I just stopped. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I said, and not only did I stop, I had like 6 guests. It might have been 8, 6 to 8 guests that committed and said, "Yo, I got you. I'll do it."
and you just
And
stopped.
I just no call, no show. I ain't even called them niggas. They were calling me, "Yo, don't nah," and I made up excuses because
You just were done.
I was just done with it. I'm not. Like every time people ask me, I think I give new excuses, but I just gave up. Like the bottom line is, I gave up. I gave up on my. I don't want to say dream, but I gave up on that hobby or that thing that I was doing that made me very happy.
Yeah.
So when the girls hit me, when Candy hit me, that whole situation, the next day, after I interviewed them, once I hit end, is like it all came back.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen, you flourished.
yeah,
How many episodes now?
this is gonna be like 50.
Insane.
No.
I lost track,
60,
honestly. I lost track.
By the time because I got like 4 in the bag.
Yeah.
So whatever came out, 59, so 63, 64.
That's amazing.
No, because you see, and the thing is, because you own this and you flourish, you actually make money. I don't make money off of this. So imagine doing something for 3 years, right? That there's no check on Friday.
You have to be dedicated
I
from the
gotta.
heart.
I'm building this shit.
But you will. I mean,
Yeah, no,
listen, keep
it's
pushing
happening,
it.
yeah.
You will. You will. What are you at, 10,000 followers? I mean, I don't know what's the threshold to start getting paid, but
It's 60. It's YouTube or
YouTube and I think on Instagram you're at 10,000.
Yeah, Instagram is 10,000 and change. But that's because of my guests.
Yeah.
It's still because of me.
Yeah, but that's how it is.
The
It's like
guest,
here
the
I have
guest brings, yeah, the
I
guest.
have parties, and that's how I continue to fill my calendar. That's how I continue to get the name spread out. It's the people that come to what you're creating.
It's a different dedication than what you do, than what other people do. But you have to want to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You have to want to
it
own
takes your
this. You know what I'm
extra
saying?
time, and it's not you're not making money with it. This is just a passion.
But you
But
have
I
to
mean,
build it.
I mean, listen,
If
I
you
think you're
build it,
doing
they
an
will come.
amazing job. Exactly. If you build it, they will come. That's exactly what
All
happened
right. So
here.
enough. No, and we're gonna get into that. I'm not ready yet to pull the trigger. I want to know about the mom thing because that
Yeah, of course, of course.
15. So now we're 25. Baby's 10, right? You say you Watson.
Yeah, so at 25, we were already living on Watson. My mom had already moved away to Puerto Rico, so I was on my own from about 20. I stood with the
Ooh,
apartment.
we alone for real.
Yeah, since 20. Like my mom stood with us till I was 20 and my daughter was
Make
5.
sure you know what you're
She
doing.
offered to take her to raise her. And I was like,
Ooh,
hell no.
that's real shit right there.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely not. But I did send her for the summers,
Of course,
the whole summer.
we need to be outside for the summer.
But that's from 20 on is I've been on my own. And yeah, at 25, my daughter was 10, going to school right there in Watson.
That's beautiful. So when did you flourish in the corporate world?
Yes, I did.
Because I knew the answer to that question. That's why I did that. Because we had this conversation before. So what were you doing exactly before you gave it up to be a big boss?
So I was an executive assistant at JP Morgan, was my last position on Park Ave. In that world, an executive assistant title is higher than an administrative assistant or clerical.
Yeah.
So at an executive assistant, you're at the higher bracket before becoming like managerial director. And so it gives you a higher salary. So I was an EA. I worked with like C and B level, A level executives. That's pretty much it. Executive assistant, we just basically manage calendars, travel, events,
No. My
corporate.
mom did that for
Okay,
many years.
yeah.
My mom retired from. She was she
So she's
was
very familiar with what I'm speaking about.
yeah. Her last job, which lasted about 10 years, was her being an administrative assistant to a a cardiologist.
Okay, there we
Well,
go.
the doctor, whatever.
I actually did cardiology for some time. I
Yeah, so
did.
she calendar making sure you're pretty much a super secretary.
You're like managing their entire world. You're making sure that everyone they meet with and everyone they interact with, the events are all covered. I mean, every facet from decor to the menu to the location.
In her retirement party, everyone was like, "What are we gonna do without you?"
Yes, because we
Because
manage everything.
she was getting money, raising money for parties. She was just
We
that
just
whole
do
hospital.
everything. I mean,
They do everything, and so I saw when the retirement party, or
yes.
everyone that said we're gonna miss you because
Yeah.
now who's gonna fill those shoes?
Yeah, it takes somebody who's able to have their hands on everything.
100%. Okay, so we leave that. Do we leave that for this, or we leave that for something else?
So this was during the pandemic. So maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks into everyone being sent home, my managing director that I supported at JP Morgan resigned. So now everyone's kind of in limbo, or everyone's home, the executives are home, the assistants are home. Our job is based on their travel and the meetings that they have,
Yep.
managing that whole thing, and it's at a high volume. So all of a sudden it's quiet. And they're having meetings, but they're having them on Zoom.
Yep.
So they're able to coordinate and manage their own calendars.
Yep.
They're not so busy on the road where now we have to handle everything. So it became a ghost town, and they were like reassigning our job roles and stuff like that. But basically, I knew eventually it was probably going to happen, and I did. At the last quarter, I got laid off. Amongst many people, my team kept me on to the very end, and then I was home for a couple of years collecting. And maybe the year that I was working remotely during the pandemic, I was just stacking because I already knew what it was.
Hell
I
yeah.
called for meetings and I tried to understand because in my case, my director actually quit it, like actually quit. So I wanted to know what was going on, but I figured it out. I stacked some bread, and I was just home with my family.
That's that Watson shit.
Right, right.
Y'all can stack some bread and Watson, boy.
But like basically that's what I did. The pandemic had me home. A year into that, I actually got laid off from my position. I vacationed for a few weeks. I was in Puerto Rico for like a month maybe. I stood out there for a minute. And then I came home and I just lived my life. My daughter had her first child, so I was a new grandmother. I was very excited. And eventually became the decision, what am I going to do next? Am I going to go back to corporate or am I going to do this? And that's how I ended up here.
But do this what? This was like,
Opening a business. Like, I was blessed enough to have the resources, right? And I had the plan, I had the idea, but I had the what ifs. So this is like going back to being a teen mom. I'm not glorifying having children young, but it does not stop you. It really doesn't. And in a lot of cases, it can motivate you,
hell yeah.
pretty much. But fast forwarding, I was always afraid of the what ifs. If I have the wrong construction team, this, that, like so many things stopped me. But when something's meant to happen, it's just going to happen. So this is where Ali comes in. I was playing with the idea and I was really afraid of doing it. Like I didn't know what to do. And it was just something that time kept passing by and I was frustrated. Like, am I going to do this or not? But I didn't know where to begin. I really genuinely just didn't. And I knew she did real estate. And one day I saw her post that she started doing commercial spaces. So I saw her post a space over by back there where they do the Latin things over there by 138 in the back by the
Yeah, by the
warehouses.
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, she posted something out there. So I just impulsively was like, I want to see that. So she was like, where? And I was like, yeah. So she took me to see it. It was fire. But they wanted me to do the remote offices because during that time we were just starting to come out of the pandemic. And those remote offices were the thing. Everybody was opening those shits. They had one up the block
Yeah.
where it's like a room full of little offices. And they already had that at the first two levels. But my vision was different. If I would have got that space, I would have killed it. Because I would have been able to do 200 people or two events at the same time. It was a wraparound loft. Amazing. I might still do it. But that one didn't work out because they wanted me to do that. So that was that. And she tells me, well, I have another location is in East Tremont. But, and I'm like, East Tremont, I'm not really trying to go to the hood. I did the warehouse back here, but I don't really want to go into the hood. And she was like, oh, no, honey, Ali. She's like, oh, no, honey, we don't do the hood. I'm talking about Throsnick. And right there, I was like,
She thought you meant. She thought you
I
meant
thought,
East Tremont
I
and
thought she
Honeywell.
meant over there. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not trying to
East
do that.
Tremont and
Listen,
Sunny
I come
Boulevard.
from the hood and it's all good, but at the same time, I'm trying to run a nice business here. I don't want to deal with
Yeah,
those
we're
things.
not talking about the Bronx Zoo area.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have to pull out a bat every time I have a party,
Yeah.
So,
Talking about Throsnick.
I'm just saying, it really does make a difference where you open this type of venue. It really does.
Hell
It
yeah.
really does. It just does. Even for the people that want to book you. Not that you can't make money in the hood. I'm just saying, I was just like, not there. And she was like, no, I'm talking about Throsnick. And then I was just like, I didn't know I could afford that. Let's go see that. And then I came here. I was actually bidding for the back, where the clinic is at now, the therapy clinic, because this was going to be a deli.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, negotiations went how they went. I didn't like the numbers for the back. And when I wasn't going to mess with that, the owner here, Cosmo, really liked my idea. So he was like, give her the front. So she comes to me and she's like, you want to do the front? And I was like, I thought there was a deli going to be there. She was like, well, they haven't made a deposit, so it's still available. So then I was like intrigued, came back, checked it out. And it was like this. It just didn't have this room. It didn't have the bar, but the bathroom was already there. The floor was gutted, so I had spent money on leveling the floor. But I saw the vision. And it's one of those things when something's meant to happen, it's meant to happen because I hesitated so many times. I tried to back out a few times. I would wake up in hot sweats, nervous. But it was like a train that I couldn't stop. It was just meant to happen because Cosmo was like, no, I like her idea. Get me the girl. I want her. And there were people that wanted this space, people that we know. And I heard about it, and he didn't give it to them.
Wow. So, okay. That hot sweat shit, right? That happens to me. And I don't own. You. No. The woman I sleep with is right here. She can
like, "It
fucking
does.
tell you. I'm
It
going to
does."
edit this shit tonight. Like, and I'm going to be like, and she's going to be trying to sleep. And I'm like, I'm sorry, babe. Nah, you cool. Because she just zones me out. And that's not even a business. Meaning that I'm not even, there's no rent due. I do this shit myself. And that's hot sweat. So I can't even imagine I understand what you're talking about because I have a little bit, and I don't, the real business owners, I'm like, nigga, you know what the fuck she's talking about, nigga. We know what we talking about. You got a
No,
little
I'm sure
bullshit
you
ass
know.
fucking recording and editing to do, but it's an idea.
It's
And
an
if you
idea,
want
and
that
it's
idea to
something
work,
yeah.
it keeps you up at
The
night.
passion goes in. For me, the hot sweats were genuinely that I put a lot of money into this.
And by the way, we're taking a tour, so stand
Yes,
by.
we are. We are. It was a nice check to write, and it was scary. It was scary. Like, I knew I wanted to open a venue. I knew I had to open a page. It was getting shared. People were adding it. But every piece of this I've learned as I've been going. So at the time when I'm having construction done here, I'm excited and I'm looking at it, I'm picking finishes, I'm doing all of that. But I still have no idea how I'm gonna fill that calendar. I just know I need a page. And I'm gonna post stuff. So I'm posting pricing, I'm posting stuff, but like I really walked in faith for this. That's how we got the name. And here we are. It's popular. People book it. I mean,
Wait. The name.
highly favored.
That's what you got. Where did that name come from?
So everything happened so fast because we went to see that space, then we came to see this one, but it wasn't here. We looked at the back. We negotiated on that for about a week or two. I tried to back out because I was like, let's just look at other stuff. But he was like, give her the front. Then he was like agreeing to the things that I wanted to do. And I mean, it was just amazing how it happened. But it happened really fast. So what was your question right before?
Highly favored.
Oh, so I didn't even have the name in place. And I was already negotiating for this place. So it was like, we need an LLC. So I'm like, all right, let's do it real quick. So my daughter's putting everything in, we're putting everything in, and she's like, what do you want to name the business? And I'm talking about what I want to name the business, already negotiating with him and going to cut these checks. So I'm sitting there, and she's like, Ma, tell me now, because I'm here, I'm doing it real quick. And she was working at the same time from home. So I'm sitting there, and I can't believe this is really happening. This is really my life. So I was just like, I always used to say blessed and highly favored, because I am in many, many ways. So I was just like, highly favored. And she was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, highly favored. And she was like, add event studio to it. And I was like, okay. And so we did it like that. It was highly favored event studio.
Woohoo! I was just in that. I was just in that whole world just now. Like, yes, we got.
Thank you.
No. Okay. So let's backtrack because I want people to understand. Young men, young women that think that obviously you have to have a bag, right?
Yeah.
You saved.
There's other ways, though. There's other ways, and we'll get to that. But I'm gonna be sharing something that I'm putting into action right
she's
now.
gonna even give you without a bag. But let's stay with bag for now. So when it comes to having a bag, and no one's business how you got your bag. You saved whatever, grandma, uncle, whoever. You got the bag. Now you got someone like Ali. Shout out to Ali, by the way. How's that ankle? She still rocks it. She don't give a fuck. I was driving by
Tremont. I'd be like, girl.
I was driving by Tremont. She pulled up to fucking garden and she jumped out. I think she was helping to decorate.
She showed me the space because I was trying to help a client find I was already booked and I was trying to help a client. And she showed me the space for her ankle.
That's crazy.
Over there at garden.
No, she was doing it. She was doing I think they were doing the cowboy thing, the theme. Yeah. So the people that, like you said, that don't know, right? So you need a bag. You need some type of bag. Have it, or if you could cut corners, whatever, grants, however you figure it out. Yeah. You need a real estate person, right? Or you need listings for the space.
You need listings. You could have a realtor that shows you commercial listings, but there's resources where you could find your own listings. For me, I go through a realtor just because I don't really have the time to search all the places and go through all the no's. I'd rather tell somebody what I want, what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and you gotta pay extra, you give them a little something.
Yeah, exactly. But there are other avenues and other ways to find listings for sure.
So,
I mean, you could just be driving by and see a for rent sign. This had a for rent sign outside.
So, okay, so what was this? Nothing?
This used to be Amalgamated Bank. This was a bank.
Small bank, but I see it.
Well, no, the bank used to be, because remember 37, so you don't know this, but 3770 East Tremont is, we all have the same address, but I'm Unit D.
Oh, okay.
And so forth. So there's 4 units. So when it was the bank, it was all of these businesses. It's just him being a businessman.
He chopped it up.
Yeah, he chopped it up, which I would have done the same. You know?
Yeah.
Because with the pandemic, he said that's when things started shutting down. So 2 years into the pandemic, when it was already clearing up, was when I came along, looking for a space.
So what's the birthday for this?
You know, I always wonder. I mean, I signed the lease in September, but my first official event was October 31st, 2019.
I think we got to go with that's the birth.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I was very blessed.
2019?
Yes, I have to say that, you know how people say that they get more support from strangers than they do their circle or their people? I never experienced that.
Oh, so the friends.
My first event, we didn't even have the bar, and I had just signed the lease in September, and I was, so back to real quick, with things being meant to happen, I have mentors that I've gone to for everything. They even co-sign on my student loans. They've been a supporter of anything that I've tried to do to elevate my life throughout my life.
Oh yeah.
So when I was doing this, it happened so fast. I impulsively asked her to see it. Then, it just happened so quick. So I called them to come look at it and tell them my idea before I went ahead with doing anything. And when I called them to come see it, as it turns out, they had a construction company. Because I was like showing them and we're talking numbers and I'm like, you think it's a good idea? And they were like, yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I'm like, I'm just a little nervous because I don't know contractors and I don't want to get got. I was afraid about the nightmare stories, people taking money and disappear.
Oh yeah.
And right there, they're like, we just opened one. So construction was done in a month. Everything was done in a month.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's not highly favored for real.
Yeah, exactly. So fast forward to that month, I still was waiting for the marble top to be installed. All I had was we'll do a tour. All I had was the stone at the bottom. And my friends, literally Charlie, Chelsea, that crew. I don't know if Ali was hanging out with us at that time, so I don't remember if she was there. But our crew, they all booked my first event here and insisted on paying full price.
Hell yeah. Happy
So-
birthday, Charlie.
So my first party was literally my friends. And I remember we used to always do really fun stuff for Halloween. Like that was like our day to be out, get dressed, go in the city, go wherever, boats, we've done it all. And I remember feeling like a little sad that I wasn't gonna get to hang out with my friends for Halloween. But of course I'm blessed, I got the business or whatever. And they ended up booking the venue. So my very first party was here with my friends and we
Home
got
team.
lit. Yeah, home team and we got lit. I have amazing pictures. I mean, it was an amazing, they gave me an amazing shout out at the end of the night, like cheers, and I'm very blessed. I
And
am.
so we look. So this year is gonna be 6 years.
4.
4?
Let's speak those 6 into existence, but yeah,
What do you mean?
4.
2019.
Well, because, oh no, wait.
You said September 2019.
No, I could, listen, I'm drinking this. No, 2020. Wait.
Pandemic was 2020.
2020. We're in 2025. I'm in my 4th year, 21. So it was 2020. It was November
Okay, so
2020.
four.
November 2020, exactly. And then that was November. I had events through November. I had my first event with them, October 31st. I had a few in November. I had a few in December. That's when I did the blunt and brunches. That's how I met Elliot.
Hell yeah.
And those were very successful. Very successful.
Blunt and what?
Yeah, I did some
Blunt
blunt.
and-
Remember, we were just coming out of the pandemic, and I don't know if we was legal at the time. You might have to edit that out. However, I did blunt and brunches to just bring.
Oh yeah. No, it's
They were pretty dope. They were
statute of
pretty.
limitations is gone. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So they were pretty dope. That's how I met Elliot. He helped me out with all the ins and outs, staff. I mean, how to price hookah, how to price this, how to price
No,
that.
he's a legend.
Yeah, once I started posting it, I filled it up, he filled it up, and we had 3 blunt and brunches, each with about 70 to 75 people.
Blunt
Maybe the
and
minimum
brunches.
of 50 people.
So what do you do?
So I
you
sold
eat and smoke?
tickets for 55. Yes, I didn't sell bud.
Bring your own bud?
It was bring your own bud, but being at the time, this wasn't something you could do. Amazing food. With your ticket, you get 2 drinks, food. I had a comedy hour, so I had Imagine here. At one point, I had this guy. I had a couple of cool comedians here, but I had damn, edit this out because I feel crazy saying this right now. But when I get the name right, keep that part. I could
Spanish? Right? What?
Yes, Candy's mad cool with him. Ken
Stars.
Stars. Ken Stars. I had Ken Stars here for one of them. We had like 3 or 4 of them, like 3 of them, and they were very successful. It was pretty dope.
No, I'm in awe of all these of all you because I've been even since I started 3 years ago talking to Frank about how he started his business and talking to JP, talking to Fausto, which was a couple of months ago.
I mean, yo, his watches.
It's just the what I'm in awe of is, and maybe someone's in awe of what I do with my
Yeah.
podcast. So
I mean, I am. I'll be honest.
when you in it, you just go mode. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly-
but someone looking at you is different.
I really have to work on giving myself grace
Oh, me too.
and living in the moment because I come here, I do my walkthroughs, I do events. It's been 4 years, so I don't really hang out just to be here anymore. I used to in the beginning. And I have accomplished something great, but a lot of times I'm so focused on that next step and on the continuous, the maintenance, the filling the calendar, keeping it busy,
The bills.
the bills, pretty much, that you don't realize how far you've come.
The AC is kicking right now. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Some people don't use the AC because they just don't want to spend no money.
Listen,
We're going to make sure we're comfortable, right?
right. I like my people to feel comfortable.
But no, you'd be surprised. I've been to barbershops that there's no AC on purpose.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I
it
mean,
works, but they
the
don't put
bills
it
are
on.
serious, so sometimes that's how they save.
No, I get it.
Well, here we're not here Monday through Friday. I come in for a few walkthroughs, but there's not 8 hours here. The 8 hours are on the weekends. So I'm able to keep AC on for things like this. Or for whenever people, I rent it for dance, I rent it for photo shoots, I rent it for everything. I rent it hourly.
That was been my next question. What do you rent for? Like literally anything? Anything that's
Anything
legal
within
and safe,
legal
obviously.
legalities, yeah. But family parties, but I've had everything from repasses to weddings. I've had weddings here.
Have you had a Rumble in the Bronx in here with Killer Mike?
He did ask me to do it, and it would have been epic. However, I know because of the neighborhood, it would have got shut down. No, real shit.
No,
It
for
would
real.
have. I've been to them. I know what's up. And I would love to host it, but this is not the place to do that. And over here, this Throsneck area, you got to play nice.
The
because
community board.
The community board does not play.
That's what happened. That's what happened to. I was just. Oh, I was on the.
I'm
I was
very
talking
nice to them. I'm very nice
no,
to them.
I learned that from interviewing.
They're very good to me, too, though. I
What's
don't
his
really have
name?
any issues.
Oh, Evo Lounge, Lusachi.
Yeah.
He told me the community boards are the one. When I interviewed Celise,
I mean, the residents, I gotta play within a good zone, but there's plenty of money with the family parties because right here there's homeowners. Right next door to this whole building, that's a pretty nice little mini mansion. That's got a lot of value, that home. A lot of these homes are very beautiful. On the corner, there's one that takes up the whole corner.
so you can't start
So
no
you
shit.
can't act crazy because they're the taxpayers. And they will. I mean, if the garbage doesn't get picked up, they call me first as a courtesy and then they call the fucking community board. They don't play that shit.
Damn. All right, you ready for this tour?
Yeah, of course.
Let's do it. So we back. Now we're gonna take the tour, and Jackie's gonna explain to us exactly what happens if you book. These balloons are from today, by the way. It was for me. So okay, so what is the first step? Hello, found you on IG. Someone recommended you. We go from there. Talk numbers.
Yeah, I'm a person that I don't gatekeep. So if you ask me the pricing over the phone or on text, I'm going to give it to you.
You said something about you show love to the single moms.
I do.
That warmed my heart, and obviously we know why, because you grew up that way. But what type of feeling does that give you if a single mom that says, "Yo, my piece of shit baby daddy's whatever in jail, whatever," and so you really have a heart for that.
Yes, I do. So it depends whether it's pricing, deposit amount, ideas. Sometimes I come out of my own pocket to make something happen. But if
That's
a
fire.
single mom comes to me, yeah, she comes to me wanting to do her daughter's sweet 16, for example, or her kid's first birthday. I've had situations where it's the first time they're even having a big party in the family, and they may be on a budget. So I work with single moms especially to make sure they get to have that event.
And you also explained that there's budgets as far as, okay, we can do this, we can do this, or we can do this. So that's something that you also provide. So
Yeah.
because there's 50 right now people celebrate their 50.
Yes.
I'm about to be 50, by the way. Let's talk. I'm about to be 50. 60 is coming soon. 70. So these people want to celebrate these these
Milestones.
birthdays.
Yeah.
So that's all budget. Okay, so what do we get? Let's talk about it. So we walk in. What can we do? This is usually the
This is a very simple. This is actually just a starter for my weekend. I wanted to put something up for our background.
Yeah.
But these are actually the colors we're going to be using this weekend, with the exception of some that are missing. And this is not really a full garden. It's beautiful. Not
Yeah.
to shade it in any way, but we can take it over the top. If you want over the top, we can take it over the top. We can take a 10-footer. I've done a lot of different types.
So this is where the pictures are.
This is like the focal point. You would call this a focal point, and it's usually made up of more walls, like different arches. Sometimes it's just a circle stand. I basically, once you book me, if you want decor, we consult over your decor. You show me an inspo pic. we go over that inspo pic, and then I ask specifically what you want from this pic. Do you want everything you see here, or is this just inspiration for colors, balloons? I ask that because sometimes they're specialty walls. They're very big wooden walls. They're carved a certain way. I don't own those. I don't have the space to own those. Those have to be rented, but I have the connections, and I can make
Hello.
it happen.
That's right.
So at that point, we talk about budget in the sense that this is what I could do in budget, and I can do a very beautiful version of that. Or if you want that, I can make that happen for you. But that's more money. So,
And we're running a business.
right. Yeah, at the end of the day.
No, yeah. No. It's you're gonna have to pay something. Let's talk about because I came here for Marty's. What was that? 50th? Marty's 50th.
Okay, yes.
It was beautiful. Nino Flex was here.
Yes.
You didn't have? Did you have a setup or? In
Well,
some
she
cases you don't
actually,
need it.
that's what I mean, that I actually, this is how I also provide flexibility, because although certain upgrades are more money, and that's because I'm paying other vendors for that, but I can make it happen for you. I can execute pretty much anything you show me. It's just, what's the budget? But I can stay in budget and give you something beautiful. So I also give people the option to do their own decor. So for Madi, she had her own decorator.
Okay, but I also because coming in, even if you're not gonna take pictures here, but the big 50 that I've seen you use before,
Yes.
that's lit up.
Yes.
And like you said, you ain't storing that. We gonna call somebody gonna bring it. The 60, the 70, the 80, whatever. So that is where this will go. A big 50.
Yeah. So right now we would be missing the marquee number. Those are called marquee numbers. Or it could be letters for a child's name. Like I've had baby showers where they put the letters of the child's name. Or it could say baby, because sometimes they use the words baby for the baby shower. So there's other parts that would be added here.
So
And
this is
then
always the focal point.
usually here. Sometimes it could be here. Sometimes it could be there. I've had it in like different. It depends on your head count, really.
Got it. Okay, so now let's keep moving. So the tables are always you could get more, less.
Yeah, so we can seat up to 100 with 10 tables. This is 60 right now. I'm actually preparing for an event on Saturday. There's 100 people, so I have more tables coming in. But I figured for us, we'll just keep it like this. But yes, we can seat up to 100.
Got it. And the bar. Hello, we need the bar. For you non-drinkers, this is not for you. But you mentioned the marble when we were sitting down. So this is why the marble? You wanted to make a statement?
Oh, I wouldn't not do it. I wouldn't not do marble. That was never a question.
Oh my god, this is like real fucking marble.
This is marble and this is stone. I actually do things. I'm a wise shopper, so I went to a warehouse in Jersey for this, and this was actually in the sale section. But you walk through the yard, and you can pick from the sale or you can pick from regular. I actually really liked this stone, and it ended up being the more economical one. So I actually didn't pay too much for this. And then this we got at Home Depot. I went and picked out how I wanted this to look, but because of the size, I don't feel like it was too much. You gotta have a good bar.
No, you gotta have a good bar.
Yeah, you gotta
And
have a good
and if it's a kids party, we got soda and juice. And
Right, we
water.
got soda and juice, and then there's lights that go around this. So when everything's going, you see the flashing lights. It's pretty cool.
So no,
Shelving in the back.
I love it. We're gonna talk about my 50th. Something gonna
The
happen
guys
here.
always gather here. They watch the game, so there's cable and Wi-Fi.
So we can do Super Bowl parties here too.
Of course, we could do everything.
We need a big
I have a
TV.
projector. I mean, I've had
Oh,
events.
projector.
That's why the walls are white. One for a blank canvas, but also you can project onto the walls really well. I mean,
You thought of everything.
yeah, pretty much. The mirrors are there because I do dance classes, Zumba. I do Zumba classes as well. I'm gonna bringing them back, but we were doing them 3 times a week when I first opened.
Do a quick spin, my love. No, I love this. And the way that you said it happened, it's like you're scared of death. Everyone's scared of death to take that jump. The people with 9 to 5s. What like you just gave like some advice. Like what would you say to these people that know how to do hair, nails? We know one of the even all three of the South Pole girls. They all
They
talented.
hustle. They hustle.
They
as a mother.
hustle, but they afraid the same way I'm afraid.
I would
you don't want
say-
to leave that 9 to 5.
So I was already out of the 9 to 5, and I'm gonna share something. I'm actually gonna go back because I can, and now I'm gonna go get that bag to bring it back over here. And
Hello.
also, that's an extra bag. I make really good money in corporate, so my plan is longevity. So invest aggressively into my 401k. Take the company match, make the money I make here, build this up because I get a lot of inquiries for dates that I'm already booked for. So my aspiration is to open a venue that has 2 rooms or just a bigger venue that I can split into 2 rooms. So that's to come. But I would say for people that are afraid, I was afraid, and once it was going to happen, it was going to happen. There was nothing I could do about it. It was like it was already going. Be a good person. Be a good person, walk in faith. And I think that brings the right people to you. I met Elliot, I met Brenda. I mean, I can honestly say I've been very blessed. I've never even had a problem in my venue. Like, I've never had an issue, a fight. I think I had one minor fight, but it went well. Everything was cleaned up real quick. You bring the right people into your world and you walk in faith and you follow your dream, you take the steps, everything else falls into place. I don't think that we should ever not chase what we want to do in life. Like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what will happen here. I'm going to keep fueling my baby. That's why I'm going back to corporate, so I could keep putting more into it. I didn't do this on loans. This was all my money.
What they
So
call it? PP, whatever the fuck? PPC?
I didn't do that.
Whatever
I
the
didn't
fuck
have
it's
no
called.
loans. However, when I go back to corporate and I have multiple bags, I will accept a loan. I get a lot of offers for loans, but I will not take it. That's part of the advice that I give. I'm actually doing an ebook. A lot of people ask me questions. A lot of people, and I give the free game. I give it to people. But I'm also working on an ebook that's going to be out this year.
It's like a starting a business even?
How to start an event space. It's
Talking
going to
about
have
fear, everything?
everything. Scared money don't make no money.
Hell yeah.
It really don't. So I took a big risk. This was my money I did this with. And I still haven't taken a loan. But I have no regrets. And I don't know what the future holds. But these last 4 years have fueled me and fed my soul in a way that I would have never experienced if I would have not chased what I wanted.
So them waking up, them hot, cold sweats.
I used to be scared because I would wake up like, did you just fucking sign that check? Did you just open an event space, bitch? Like, I was just.
So it's like, but wait. So it's happy, but it's scared, and it's everything at
I
the
didn't
same
know
time.
how I was gonna feel it. I was fucking scared. Like, I knew what my plan was, but I didn't know what the outcome would be. I was literally walking in faith because I didn't know. And then I'm over here thinking, there's mad venues on the strip on top of that. We all eat though. And Luxury Diamond was the one that was happening at the same time as me. The other ones came after. I thought that shit was a cab base because I saw that big ass shit in the front. It looks like a cab base. Like, I thought it was a cab base when I was coming to view this, when I was negotiating. So I opened it mad happy. I'm like in the first few days of construction and I peeped that that's a venue and it's less than a block away. That shit had me
So now you're nervous.
even more nervous.
Yeah, because they're gonna go to them. They're not gonna come to me.
I mean, it's all competition at the end of the day, but it's funny competition. When I don't have a date, I send them to them. They send it to me. We look out for each other.
But that's why you just said
You got to break bread.
you got it first. You can't be an asshole. Try not.
I'm capable of being an asshole,
100%.
but that's only if you bring that out. Otherwise, I'm amazing.
No, when I met you, I think I met you on Whaler. I introduced myself, whatever, and you was like, "Oh, you do the pilot, yeah." So and then I didn't know who you were, and Elliot mentioned you a couple of times because we had some parties here, whatever.
You didn't know I was the owner. You had already been here.
I had no
The,
idea
the
you were the
hood
owner.
has shown me so much love.
I
That's
had no
another thing.
idea.
So
I
many
had
people.
no idea you were the owner.
Yeah. No, because I'm very. People don't be knowing I'm the owner. I'll be here with my hair up, busting my ass, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're the owner," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, wow, I love that." Like, they be like, "Oh my God, Boricua woman."
Because you're Spanish, and you know it don't matter what color you are, but we don't. There's not too many of us.
No,
You
there
know what I'm
really
saying?
isn't. So I get a lot of support, a lot of love, a lot of referrals.
And the faith, and that's my thing with the faith. How the French toast? Try not to curse so much because YouTube be fucking checking me.
I curse all the time. I probably might have to edit out
No,
a
it's
few
okay
things.
as long as the host don't curse. No, but the faith of filling those calendars. You don't because you don't know you're gonna get a call.
You don't.
You don't know who's turning 50. You don't know who's turning
Strategy.
16. You know. You
Well,
can,
treating people good, making sure every event goes the way you would want it to go for yourself. So out of every event, I get 2, 3 more bookings.
so you got to keep it.
So you gotta. Does not matter who's in front of you because you get all types of clients. You get all types of clients. You get the educated ones. You get the not so. You get all types of clients from all types of backgrounds.
Can we smoke weed in here?
Yeah, you go through all type of shit. I could go down through a whole, but you treat everyone with respect and how you would want to be treated, and I think that that allows them to have a great experience. Your space is clean. very hospitable, and that allows them to give referrals. And that's really how it started. I mean, like I said, my friends gave me the first party, but then one of my daughter's friends booked her grandfather's event. Then that family started booking. Then I had more the next month, and then it just kept going from there. Like word of mouth, referrals. I've had families come back 4, 5, 6 times.
Consistency.
The event space, I mean, the Instagram page helped a lot. And now I've learned how to use the Instagram advertisements.
Oh yeah.
So I've boosted, a few postings, and I'm blessed. I keep a nice flow between phone calls, WhatsApp, texts, the page.
Well, you got my attention. That's why. Well, we were no, we were just at. That was last week. We were just at Mi Tierra,
Yes, we are.
and
Yeah, you
oh,
just.
for the Puerto Rican thing, I was doing interviews that day. And I was in the cab, and my girl's a witness. I'm like, babe, I gotta interview her because she got the spot, and I'm like, why the fuck haven't I interviewed her already? But thank you for accepting when I called you, because we
Why wouldn't I?
we gotta promote. I want to promote my friends. I want to promote strangers. I don't give a fuck because I need. The way you told that story, I felt that shit. Like, go back to when we was at the table. I felt that shit.
I
Like,
saw it. Your eyes glistened a
I'm
bit. I
like-
was like, did
I'm
he
like,
just get
yo.
emotional?
I'm a super.
No, I love that. I'm the same way. You
I've
know how many times I've cried here?
I've cried 3 times in interviews.
Oh,
Yeah,
so I made you a little bit, a little bit.
No, that was just shock.
No,
Like, yo,
you honestly, but I saw the passion. I
No,
saw it in
I-
your
'cause
face.
I
I
believe-
was like, oh,
'cause-
thank you.
because I'm in this world now. Before I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't give a shit about nothing. Now that
Yeah.
I'm talking to people, how did you become what? And then they like all our friends. I've interviewed most of our friends that we know, our similar friends that we have, and they all have a story. We all have a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
definitely came.
This
I
is
mean,
why I started
we
this.
just scratched the surface, but I definitely came from the underdog.
No, I love it. Just
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Are we leaving anything out? I want to make sure. Oh, you mentioned the ebook.
I mentioned the
That's
ebook.
coming.
That's coming.
You're going back to corporate.
Definitely. Keep
Oh,
building my baby.
I have a. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. How
I'll be
many-
hiring once I go back to corporate for,
Hello.
I mean, this is how you grow and expand. I initially was just excited to just become an entrepreneur. And I used to be fascinated by people that didn't report to a 9 to 5 and got it out the mud. Like, there was no paycheck waiting at the end of the week. And
You gotta
yet
figure that shit out.
they just figured it out. And I would be fascinated by that. And not intimidated, but almost like, how do they do it? And I didn't even see how I was going to get there. And now I'm in love with it. But I understand the importance of you got to keep growing your baby. So I'm going to go back to corporate to get that bag, but it's to keep growing this baby and just have both.
'Cause this
Multiple
baby's-
streams of
this
income,
baby's-
multiple
This
streams.
baby's 4 years old.
This baby's 4 years old, and the
you-
overhead
and-
is no joke.
And yeah, I was gonna say I don't like talking about people's numbers, but I cannot imagine. I don't want to know.
We don't have to speak, but
It's not. You say you cried in here a couple of times.
I've cried in this motherfucker a couple of times.
That's,
But it's not even about bills, just very
Exactly.
heartwarming. I mean,
good cry.
no, I am where I'm supposed to be. Like, I genuinely do this with love, with passion. I enjoy seeing them come in with their eyes all full of hope and, like, excited about this event. They might be on a budget, they might not, or whatever, but, like, looking at me like, all right, so you're going to make it look good, right? And they're losing sleep and they're stressed out. And I'm just ordering. I'm taking their inspo. I'm talking to them. I'm using their pictures. And I'm planning how it's going to look. So I'm ordering shit. I'm hiring people. I'm doing everything. The day that event comes and we all come together, the team I put together or whatever, and we make it happen and it looks beautiful, and then I see them come in and start crying, that shit
That's it.
explodes my heart.
You did it.
Yeah. When I see the father and daughter dance, when I see all these amazing moments, my heart I just cry. I can't help it. I just start crying with them. I've had beautiful moments, repasses. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I definitely do it with love.
And there you go, Jackie. That's it. Heavily favored. Shout out all everywhere they can find you. Numbers.
Highly favorite events on Instagram. My number is on the contact button. And there is a website coming because I get a lot of people that basically say, oh, I know what I want. I've been there a few times. I just need to know if you have the date available. I've even gotten calls where they're like, I just send you the deposit. So I want to be able to give people an option to just book what they want. So that's coming soon as well.
No, that's a beautiful thing. No Facebook.
Oh, we provide catering, we provide DJs, we provide bartenders,
Hell yeah.
we provide decor. I do off-site
Security?
decor. Security, I mean, I could do it all. You want an elephant? I'm gonna get you an elephant.
Fucking
But you
elephant.
gotta spend money on that.
Jackie, thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Thank you
This
for
is amazing.
Thank
Thank you
you
for having
doing
me.
what you do.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We need somewhere to throw parties. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
do
And
it.
you one of
Oh,
us.
people have an amazing time here. It's not because it's
I've
mine,
been
but
here.
it's a vibe in here.
I've been here. I was
I
sitting
wanted
right
to
over
design
there.
it like a lounge. I wanted to feel like a blank canvas, but if you wanted to have like a private party that's like your own little club for the night, I've done that. I've done it for Mike, for Free the World, for his family. Like, I could do it. I could turn this into a lounge for you if you want.
There you go. And we out of here. Peace. Thank you so much, my love.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.